Okay, so let me ask you, what do you do when you start to get ill? Not that I have a little sniffles here or there, but when you know you're on the verge of something big, do you have a protocol? Do you know what to do? Because today I want to walk you through what the Freedom Mastery Experience clients go through, and they learn through experience, so they actually go and do this secondhand. In actuality, I'm actually here shopping for one of my clients at Whole Foods for his materials, due to the fact that he went to Italy, and for the last 2 years, we've been getting them clean, getting them off the concept off of Western medicine of, medicine, aka chemicals, that now has something that can possibly hurt your system on the back burner. So there's a big difference that you need to understand. But the question lies, do you understand what to do, like systematically, to make any illness go away? To actually understand what that means and what to do, you actually have to start working with someone that's going to walk you through your process based off of your beliefs. So I'm going to break this down in a little bit more detail for you, because the Freedom Mastery Experience doesn't now just do one thing at a time. It shows you who you are based off of what's happening. And that's why you're always calm. You're always at ease. And all of my clients are seeing less and less sicknesses. They're way more calm, and they're doing specific things. But to make this video kind of short, to summarize everything, if you're starting to get ill, you now need to take care of a bunch of different systems. One, your respiratory system. How does your nose and lungs handle the extra germs, as well as the extra rawness and the irritation that you're doing that you're doing to it? One. Two, you have to understand your energy load, and we use Boost to clear that up. Boost gives you energy in the morning, keeps you focused and keeps you moving, as well as it puts you to sleep, which then you have to now sleep well, so you're actually healing. And those things are impaired when you're ill. Number 4, hydration. You have to now really bring up your hydration so you can flush whatever chemicals, whatever your body is getting rid of, out. Whether it's germs, viruses, whatever the case may be, there is waste product that needs to come out of you. It's either going to come out of your poop or out of your pee. And there's some mucus and things like that as you spin that stuff up. But we don't want to see that, because if you're that and it's starting to produce, you're not keeping up fast enough. Finally, you have to understand your mental state and you staying calm so your body can do the things that it needs to do. Which means the way that we do this is I get my clients to open up a window, get some fresh air in, and just lightly clean, which calms themselves down or do what they need to do in a calm state. If they have to work, you have to stay calm. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. So you have to understand this. When your person gets ill, they have to understand where they stand in this whole illness world. We're post 2020, so everybody is now more alert that things aren't what they seem. So I'm going to bring it back way to the beginning. There's 2 different theories. There's terrain theory and there's germ theory. Terrain theory says that your body is out of balance and it's trying to course correct, so it's changing everything that's happening, which is true. Then there's 2. There's germ theory. Think germ theory is inside terrain theories. The germs are starting to build up, but they don't come from outside, they come from inside. That's terrain theory. It doesn't come from outside, it comes from inside. The germ theory is germs are out of control. Viruses are all over the place, blah, 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 blah. We have to balance those things out. So both of them are right in the Freedom Mastery Experience. You have to understand there is a terrain theory that your body is trying to always course correct and look for this homeostasis. But there is germs and viruses that's inside your body that needs to stay in balance. And when things get off, when you're ungrounded, when you're too stressed, you're not sleeping, or you go off in a plane 10,000 feet in the air, 10 miles or whatever the case in the air, and you come out of balance inside yourself. Your body's naturally going to go through some shit. So what you have to now start doing is cleaning up said shit. So how do we do that? One, you want to think about your systems: respiratory system, circulatory system, and digestive system. We want to get all that to dial in. So the way that we do that is inside the protocol, inside the Freedom Mastery, we have a protocol that now clears out the sinuses, the respiratory system, and that gets all the excess germs and gunk and all that stuff to clear out. If you're starting to feel harsh, or you're starting to feel that extra in the back part of your throat, you're already starting to produce more bacteria. So you have to slough that off and clear that up. And there's a bunch of different old school remedies that I teach for that. One of them being you gargle peroxide. It's controversial and people are like, you shouldn't do that, but it just clears out that excess layer of skin, exposing the underbelly of the nasty gook. And then you can use Manuka honey. You can do things and let your body do what it needs to do at that point. Now, everything I'm going to show you at this point on is going to be in Whole Foods. What you have to understand is this place is going to be golden. It's golden because it has a lot of resources that you need to make yourself feel better without the back burner. Now, this is a controversial subject as well. Medicines that we use, Tylenols, the Dayquils, the NyQuils, all those things work with the symptom but don't deal with the root. I'm going to show you things that's going to now deal with the root as well as deal with the belief systems of what you need to do to clear up said root. So you have to understand the further you can get away from needing a medicine, which is a hard stop. They are very important. They are very important. And by the way, they're very important if you get to that place. The point is, don't get to that place. So you want to start doing things well before things happen, which means you have to understand who you are. So one, terrain theory or germ theory. Once we're understanding that, then we're saying, oh, we're out of balance. We have to now clear up the germs, respiratory system, cellular, as well as digestive system. You're going to want to try to get more poop out of you, more pee out of you, which means hydrate. So the fiber is actually very important because as you start to eat more and more, or you're going to have trouble eating altogether, you have to now get things to flush out. Now, in terrain theory versus germ theory, no matter what, your gut's going to start producing more and more mucus. We need to clear that out. So all you need to understand is, at this point, is clear out the respiratory system, digestive system needs to start consistently moving. But when you're ill and you're really bad, you're not going to want to move. So that's where the cleaning and walking around and doing things will do. Because all you need to do is do walking. It's not a whole bunch of exercise where you're sweating and things like that because you don't have the juice for that. This is what I want you to do. Go in, open the windows, clean things out, clear out the mucus lining, clear out everything, and let's show you some supplements. This is going to be fun due to the fact that I forgot my headset. But go into your Whole Foods. And the important thing I want you to remember with this is you have to understand, you have to believe in what's happening, which means you need to learn what you're actually doing, not just taking things off a blind faith. Look at the labels, look at what's happening so you can understand what's going on. Let's go look at this. So there's all sorts of things that's going to go on here, right? This is very important for you to see. You're going to deviate right to this, and you're going to start scrolling for all the things that's happening. For this example, and what I'm doing with my client today, is I'm actually teaching him how to learn to look at his symptoms and deal with his symptoms. So what you're going to actually go to is this section right here. What this section right here is an easier way of dealing with things based off of symptoms. They're easier on your body, as well as it's going to teach you to start looking for smaller things and dealing with one thing at a time. Whenever you deal with the body, the faster you can deal with one thing at a time, the better and the quicker it's going to go through things. Now, you want to understand, if you're in the further along of this and you have like the wet mucus, you want to look up for something for wet, nasty mucus. Then it's dry cough. Then it's harshness. Then it's yada, yada, yada. Get it? Now, if you start doing that, you'll start to compile and get a momentum going. So that's what we're going to do for my client today. The next thing that you have to really worry about is hydration. We want to start getting everything working, and pretty much in the hydration section, it's salt, sugar, and any type of electrolytes at this point will work at what you're doing. So it's your choice on what you want to do, because this is relatively simple. If you look on the back of them, it's all going to be that simple aspects of it. So the one that I normally get is not here, so I'm just going to jump on this one. So to round this all off, the next thing I get to follow up everything, and this is all the things that I give even my kids, all this stuff, is this one, herbal formula. There's a lot of different ones now. I rounded off with this because this has a lot of different components that your body might actually need as well. So again, I say things like something like this. They come off, all you do is spin the bottom, and little droplets come out. Little droplets, right? They look a little like that. They come out, and then you just put them underneath your tongue. So even your kids can take them with ease without you even having trouble. All right, so that's your 101 on the supplement side. You have something that's going to clear out the whole nasal aspect. That's something you have to work on, whether you're going to be doing neti pots, as well as inhaler for with tea tree oil or anything. It's something that you can inhale to clear out all the extra germs in there. As well as gargling peroxide, again, controversial, but do that with ease and grace. Gargle, it's going to get foamy. Do not swallow, and then follow up with some honey to something to soothe the throat. Then we have hydration, which I showed you the supplement for that. All the extra stuff to get all the extra germs and everything to balance out. Finally, the very end of this is you want to now start putting yourself in low gear. I teach my clients how to do something which I call sloth mode. You're doing all the things that you need to do, but you're doing it with the lightest amount of energy as possible. Then this is the biggest thing. Stay away from dairy. Stay away from anything that's going to produce mucus. So in short, anything white and anything really, really pasteurized, anything you find in a box, for instance. And then it's a matter of dairy, lots of hydration, water. If you're going to be drinking, think your body weight in ounces is the simplest way to do it, right? That is the whole kit and caboodle. If you are to a point where you're at mucus and it's discharged and it's that green, give yourself, if you're really on top of yourself and not taking in any sugar and not taking in any dairy, give yourself about 3 days to bounce back. But you have to follow all these different things, and you have to start working yourself out of the old monad of taking these medications that are also chemicals that are harsh on your body. If you're getting it to that point, that's when you have to take it. But remember, there's always a back burner. It's gonna hit your gut hard. It's gonna hit your gut hard, which means you have to now double up and start really working on your gut biome all over again. It's gonna do it, sorry. Now, final thing is, I'm teaching you something that's based off the Freedom Mastery experience, based off a client that's been with me for 2 years, and he's been working his way outside of this. All those supplements I just told you about, I was giving him slowly until we can actually switch out. That's why we're getting all these things now, because now he's going to go through his first barely illness. He's getting there, but he's nowhere near bad, and we're going to use these homeopathic remedies. With that said, you have to remember this. Homeopathic remedies are very light and gentle, which means if you put up a big bonfire and you try to put it out with a squirt bottle, it's not going to work. These things are very subtle and very easy. You have to work your way into it as a belief system, as well as the more you believe in them, the more they're going to work, which means they're going to start fighting bigger and bigger issues with ease and grace. So start at your own pace. Get them, and then start adding them to your medicine cabinet. Do not just run out and just go grab them all, because you will fail and you will say this does not work, because you're not used to catching things early. That's why we go off and we do the slow by slow, looking at your symptoms and learning your symptoms and learning how to listen to your body.